Hi, everyone. I trust that all of you are home safe with your families during this pandemic. We wanted to make this quick video today because a lot of families have been reaching out to us, asking us, hey, can you still help us do an estate plan even during this shutdown? And the short answer is yes. But in today's video, we want to show you other things that you can do besides setting up your estate plan that is as important. And these 4 things you can do at home. You don't have to leave your house. And so there's really no barriers for you to make sure that if something happens to you, if you end up in the hospital, if you can't make decisions on your own and you need your family to step in, what are those things that you can do now to make sure that some of these problems can be avoided? So in this video, we're going to show you how to create your emergency estate plan at home without going out. So Cindy, can you share with us the first thing that people can do?
Sure. The number one thing you should definitely do right now is make sure your family can get access to your bank accounts in case of an emergency. So this happens a lot where you've got a bank account only in your name, and if something happens to you, your spouse, or your wife, your husband, your children, they cannot get access to it. The bank is legally required to safeguard that for only the legal owner of that account. So if your name is only on that account, then you are the legal owner of that account and no one else can have access to that account. Even if they're married to you, even if that's your child, they cannot get access. So really easy thing to do, solution here is you can, one of the options is to add somebody to that account. You can add your spouse to the account or add your trusted adult child to the account. And if you're uncomfortable with that idea, then what you can do is fill out a power of attorney. And that power of attorney can state that this appointed person, this agent, would have access to your financial accounts, including the account at the specific bank. And the other thing that you can do is also ask the bank to fill out their pay on death beneficiary form. So it's either, or transfer on death beneficiary, basically a beneficiary designation form. Every banks have it. Banks are not particularly good at asking you who your beneficiary is. So you have to be your own advocate and make sure that they know who your beneficiary is for this particular account. This is something that can easily be done. You can fill out the power of attorney at home, or you can ask the bank for their beneficiary form, call the bank, or go on the website. I'm sure there's some banks are very online savvy and have these type of things available for you online.
Yes, and the second thing that you can do right now at home is consider getting insurance. So there's life insurance, there's disability insurance, and there's also what's called long-term care insurance. Now, why do you want this type of insurance? What would happen to your family if you didn't have your income? If something happens to you, you can't work for months, or in the event that you become physically disabled for a very long time, you want to make sure you have certain types of insurance in place. And the first type of insurance is life insurance. As you know, life insurance is if you pass away, then the life insurance company would pay your family $500,000, $1 million, $2 million or more to make sure that they'll be okay financially without you around. And so some of the factors to determine whether or not you need life insurance is whether or not you have people that rely on you. Do you have a spouse? Do you have children who rely on your income? And what if you're gone and they don't have that income? What's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to their lifestyle? So those are some considerations to see whether or not life insurance makes sense. There's also disability insurance. Like I just mentioned, you might be disabled because of the coronavirus. and it might create a long-term disability for you. So look into disability insurance as well. And finally, there's also long-term care insurance to pay for your long-term care needs in the event that you're older and you do get sick and you do need to be admitted into a nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you pay for that. In California, long-term care is very expensive. Facilities are thousands of dollars a month. Really good ones are over $10,000 a month. And so see how much savings you have to cover that type of care in the event that you're at that age, you're in your 60s or even 70s, and you need some extra help in case something happens and you end up in nursing care. So now a story I really wanted to share that makes life insurance so important is early on in the coronavirus pandemic, a 34-year-old man died after going to Disney World. He contracted the coronavirus and died. So this can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it can happen to anyone. So make sure you have the proper insurance in place to take care of your family if something happens to you. And getting insurance is so easy these days. You can go online. There's a lot of services that you don't even need to talk to people, or you can reach out to a licensed insurance agent to help you. There's a lot of them online as well. So you can get all of that done right at home.
Yeah, and I mean, we always recommend, on top of all of this, is really just sit down and get your estate plan done. So what is the estate plan, right? Estate plan essentially is, you set things up, prepare in the event something does happen to you, where does your assets go? So typically, for most people, your home is maybe your biggest asset. So you want to make sure that, your home, all your savings, any investments, businesses that you own, you basically set things up. So in case something does happen to you, you designate who is going to inherit those assets. So one thing that's good about modern technology nowadays is that we can actually do your estate plan without physically seeing you. So, we can give telephone consultations, we can do Zoom consultations, anything that really can communicate with you in terms of, what your objectives are, how many children you have, who you want, your assets to go to. We can, consult with you and make sure that those are all done in specifically based on your wishes. And then based on those, we would set up your living trust. It would include your will, and then also the power of attorney that Cindy mentioned, and also an advanced healthcare directive, which essentially is a healthcare power of attorney where you designate who could make a healthcare decision for you in case something happens where you can no longer make those decisions on your own behalf. So if you have those things set up, it really does give you a lot of peace of mind, right? So not only do you know that your children will inherit, or whoever you designate as your beneficiary will inherit your assets, but they don't have to go through probate. They don't have to wait a long time for the courts to reopen and, go through all of these plans and appraisals. And it's really, really a long process to go through probate. And they also save a lot of money. A typical estate plan now, if it has to go through probate, we're looking at least $34,000 or up in cost. So if you have something set up, they don't have to incur these costs, especially during this time where we're all, shut down and, everybody's income is kind of restricted. So that's something that we highly, highly recommend. We are able to consult via telephone, via video conference, and then once a draft is complete, we can email that to you. Everything can be done electronically in terms of viewing the draft and everything. And what we have been doing is for the parts that require notary, we can set up a mobile notary to come out to your home and get the sections that need to be signed and notarized done in your home. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, we've had clients where they sign in their garage, use your own pen. We don't touch or transfer or any other, things that you don't feel comfortable with. So we can do it in the garage, in your driveway, meet at a outside area where you feel like it's a lot safer, and we can still maintain the social distancing requirements, but it can still be done. So that's really the important part. And I think, during this time, it's good to know that if you do have it done, you put it together all in a nice binder. So what we do is we include all your documents in a nice binder. You have everything in one place. So what we also recommend is that you put everything in there, including your bank statement, any other kind of letter of instructions that you might have, any other kind of investments that you might have, all in one place, so that in the event something does happen, your family members can take a look and say, hey, this person, our family member, was so prepared. They took the burden off of our shoulders and made sure that everything was there, organized, and all we need to do is take this binder and get things transferred out. So I think it really, really does help. And make sure you do tell your family members, if you do have an estate plan set up, let them know about it. Let them know where you put that estate plan. The thing for us is what we also include, we have everything saved electronically in a safe file. So in case you do want us to share your estate plan with a family member of yours, we can always do that by sending them the electronic copy. And that will also send it to you as well. So it does help with the organizational part of it. But I think, communication again to your family members, if you do have an estate plan done, let them know that it was done, where you have placed the document, which law firm you went through to do. So if they have any questions, if something does happen to you, they can always give us a call, contact us again, and we'll have records of everything.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your attention. We hope that your family continues to stay safe during this pandemic. And we're going to continue to create as many of these videos as we can to serve our community. And if you have any questions that's specific to estate planning, please leave a comment below and we'll do our best to answer it in our next video. We'll see you next time. Take care.